plan involving short-term rental taxes in New Orleans got a hearing at the state capitol.
Sabrina Wilson explains what the legislation seeks to change and why short-term rental companies oppose it.
At the state capitol, short-term rentals in New Orleans got a lot of attention in a House committee. Two former state lawmakers from the city led the discussion.
We've been authorized to handle the bill for Representative Hilferty. This is House Bill 610.
It involves a proposed increase in the occupancy tax on SDRs in New Orleans.
What this bill does is it authorizes the New Orleans City Council to increase short-term rental taxes.
Initially, the bill called for increasing the tax by more than 3%, but it wouldn't be able to exceed 10% of the rent or fee charged.
But look, Walt and I have been around this building enough, and we've heard some of the concerns from the committee. So in the real spirit of compromise here, instead of going up 3.25%, we're only going to be asking the legislature for an additional just 1% increase.
New Orleans City Council Vice President Helena Moreno and New Orleans and Company CEO Walt Leger also called for the bill to be amended to achieve more transparency.
Where in every bill that we have for a transaction, it's going to be itemized of all the taxes, state and local taxes, along with all of the different fees that are collected, just so that we truly can ensure that the city is getting what it's supposed to be getting and that the state is getting what it's supposed to be getting.
We've done a little bit of digging on some of the platforms to try to ascertain what rates are being collected and remitted. The reality is what we found is that depending on the property, there are different rates being collected for different purposes. It is extremely confusing.
Now, representatives of short-term rental companies were at the state capitol and pushed back hard against the proposed legislation.
But it still is unfair to small business owners in New Orleans who are operating STRs.
The Airbnb representative says the platform is doing the right thing.
Airbnb remitted $23 million in taxes to New Orleans in 2023 and $270 million to the state in that same year. We're paying our taxes.
This will inevitably make STRs in the city of New Orleans more expensive, which will decrease their competitiveness compared to other lodging options like hotels or motels.
Ultimately, it passed out of the Municipal and Parochial Affairs Committee.
It's a common sense approach.
The bill now heads to the House floor for consideration. Supporters say if the tax is raised by 1%, it still will be lower than the hotel-motel taxes in New Orleans, but would be more comparable with taxes in cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco. John.